Hey y'all, welcome to Envy Athletics. Today we're going to talk about the secret to increasing your vertical jump. So spoiler alert, it's not a secret. It boils down to one simple concept: improving your power to body weight ratio, specifically in your lower body. Now here's the hard part. What's the best way to do that? Well, using the EnvyRack's non-varying resistance technology, alongside proven training principles such as the French contrast method, we at Envy Athletics have designed a training program to do precisely that. So what is the French contrast method? It is an applied form of training derived from post-activation potentiation. Put simply, it uses the short-term increase of power gained from a heavy lift and optimally uses that power to perform a similar explosive movement. Broken down to its core, it is 4 consecutive exercises done in a specific order. A resistance exercise performed at near maximal load, followed by a plyometric exercise that mimics that same movement pattern, then another resistance exercise trying to maximize the power output, then finished off with another plyometric or even accelerated plyometric exercise. The EnvyRack's non-varying resistance works perfectly while training with the French contrast method because of the force velocity curve. This is used while measuring an athlete's speed while doing an exercise to figure out the athlete's peak power output. This curve can be broken down into different zones: maximum strength, strength speed, speed strength, and maximum velocity. We've used these zones to develop 5 different French contrast method programs to increase your vertical jump. If you haven't already, go to our website to check out this full program, fully broken down and available to download for free. Program number 1 starts off with max strength quarter squats or high box squats. Just make sure your athletes are dropping to the similar depth as their max height jump. Moving on to our resisted plyometrics or our speed strength zone, EnvyRack max height jumps. You can find the weight and rep recommendations on the full program on our website. Next is the resistance exercise trying to maximize your power output or the strength speed zone, full depth power back squats. Make sure you have the EnvyRack's resistance pulling forward here to shift the athlete's center of gravity to allow for a deeper squat. Lastly, assisted plyometric or maximum velocity zone assisted max height jumps. We recommend having the athletes face perpendicular to the EnvyRack to allow for a full arm swing. Moving on to program number 2, starting off with heavy partial Bulgarian split squats. Since we're not working on sprinting here, we recommend moving your athlete's lead foot back underneath their hips. For resisted plyometric exercise, we're going to do a 1-step jump or a 1-leg takeoff. Then back to Bulgarian split squats, but these are going to be jumping, and if your athletes can, you're more than welcome to use weights. Then we finish off this program with assisted tuck jumps. This works great for the overspeed training of the knee tucks, but you can also do the resisted version of the tuck jumps. Program number 3, heavy trap bar deadlift, and let's use the high handle version of the Hexer trap bar. Then we move into depth drops. A few different versions of this. You can do a single leg land to double bound, or a single leg land to single bound, or a double leg land to double bound. Then we're going to move back into trap bar deadlift, but this is going to be a lighter version where we're jumping with the bar, grabbing the lower handles of the trap bar. For a max velocity exercise on this one, we're going to do resisted drop squats. This is a unique exercise where your athletes are working on dropping their hips as fast as they can. The athlete's feet need to be anchored, and to give a mental cue, tell the athletes to pull their feet up. Program number 4 starts off with hang power high pulls or power shrugs. Really, we're just looking for the athletes to hit triple extension. Then we move into resisted pogos, which is a very undervalued exercise with vertical jump and speed training. Going back into our strength speed zone, we're using power cleans. The EnvyRack works perfect here to allow the athletes to use a lighter weight, but still force the athletes to use triple extension. Assisted plyometric exercise, assisted pogos, focusing on max height with minimal ground contact. And final program number 5, this one may surprise you, but power push jerk. But if you really think about it, a push jerk is really just a quarter front squat done with enough speed and power to put the bar over your head. And the EnvyRack works perfect here to allow the athletes to use a weight where their shoulders are not limiting their lower body's power output. EnvyRack jumps, but this time we're going to be attached to our hands. Athletes' ability to use their upper body's momentum to help their jump is very important. Lateral Russian step-ups, and make sure your athletes start in a standing position and then drop into a loading jump position. And if your athletes do have the ability on this one, feel free to use dumbbells. And finishing off, we have assisted kneeling jump squats. The initial first jump should be done with speed, and then the second jump should be done for max height. Thanks so much for watching, and if you have any questions over the program or exercises, make sure you email us.